About 10 years ago, I was visiting San Francisco and I was going to Square and Google and all these other tech companies. And as I walked around their offices, I noticed that they pretty much create an environment where all they do is work because everything else is taken care of for them. They have the clean and fold for the laundry, they have the daycare, they have the canteens, they have the snack drawers, they have everything around them so that it takes care of all that extra stuff that they normally have to think about so that they could do the thing that creates the most value for the business. And when I brought that back home to my wife, I was like, you know, we both work from home and we could probably use some support in our home to be able to like buy back time. Sure, we had a cleaning person, sure, we had somebody helping us with meal prep, but to take all of that and consolidate it, since we both had offices in our home, I was like, wow, this could be a really cool idea. And I went down the rabbit hole and I found out that there's a role called the house manager that takes care of anything in your home that would otherwise be you or your partner. So it frees up your time to do the thing in your business that makes you the most money and or have the time for yourself to recharge or spend it with the people you love the most, like your kids and your family. So I want to walk through exactly how we found, hired, trained, and have supported our life through our house manager to help you buy back your time. The first strategy is we want to talk about consolidating the roles to reduce complexity. See, a lot of people, they might already have somebody that, you know, runs errands for them, or somebody separate that comes to their house and cleans, or somebody else that helps with meal prep, and they feel like, oh, this is really efficient. But the challenge is that you now have 4 or 5 people that you've got to coordinate. My philosophy is to consolidate. When we started doing this, you know, we actually asked our cleaning lady, Shannon, hey, could you stop by the grocery store once a week and get kind of the core stable of stuff? And then eventually went from, you know, groceries to meal prep to, you know, even babysitting our kids. Since they were already in the home, why not ask them to support you at a higher level? You know, one day I was at my friend's house and he was complaining that his wife wasn't on board to have somebody kind of come in and be around more. And I was like, well, what's the thing that you want off your plate? And he's like, well, honestly, it'd be nice if I didn't have to go wash my cars every week and put gas in them and, you know, do all the kind of the maintenance around that. And I was like, well, you have a cleaning lady? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, why don't you ask them to support you? And he's like, whoa, I never thought about that. It's like, at the end of the day, there's probably somebody in your life that you trust, that you already pay, that you could pay the same amount to do other stuff for you, like run errands and go shopping and get groceries for you or support the meal prepper, whatever it is, to buy back your time so that you can do something that you love, take care of yourself, and or invest in your business so that you can grow your business to have more resources. The second strategy is to have one person that's the true owner that creates proactive results. See, when you consolidate all these different roles into one person, then you can delegate the outcome of managing the stuff in your life. So for example, my executive assistant, they manage all the corporate stuff, all the emails and the legals and the financials for all my different companies that I'm involved in, my schedule, my time, my travel. And then everything that's on the house manager side is anything that's personal, which I call Personal Inc. They are the CEO of the cars and the assets and the real estate and the registrations and the insurance and all of the little things that when you add them all together can take 10 to 20, 30, 40 hours a week of extra time that you don't even realize. And when you have 2 busy entrepreneurs in a family, having somebody like that is indispensable. I can't even explain how valuable that would be to your life. And for me, the biggest tip I would give you is to have your house manager report to your executive assistant. The reason why is because they know your calendar, they know your schedule, they know where you're gonna be. And if you want somebody that's in your home to be able to prep things, pack for things, go purchase stuff, run errands, they can work with that person that's around you to do that. So being in your office and having documents brought to you, sign them, brought to the law firm, having all your mail processed, and then checks being brought to your bank and moving parcels around and shipping gifts to people and all that stuff, having it coordinated through your executive assistant with your house manager is a game changer to buy back your time, to have the focus to do the thing that only you can do. The third strategy that I want to share with you is how to find this person so you avoid hiring a dud. You know, most people, when I share this, they're like, okay, how do I find this person? Where did you find yours? I don't understand. That sounds like such a crazy thing. Like that's a big role to hire for. And my philosophy is very simple. If other people in their life manage their life, why can't they manage my stuff? Why can't they come in and coordinate and organize and clean and purchase and schedule stuff in my life. They're doing it for themselves. So my whole philosophy has always been what I call the test first hiring method. And it really comes down to 3 parts. Number 1, I want to use a video submission on the application to quickly vet and see if somebody can follow instructions. It's very simple. Okay. Number 2 is I'm going to use a profile assessment. One of my favorites is called the Colby A. And it tells me if somebody has a high follow through. Are they somebody that is a good researcher? People that essentially complement me, the opposite of me. If I hire somebody that's going to help support me, I don't want to hire another me. I want to hire the opposite so they can take things off of my plate. The third thing we want to do is a test project. And when it comes to a house manager, my favorite is to actually simulate what I'm going to expect them to do. So I might ask them to deal with some mail, go make a purchase, babysit my kids, whatever you're going to ask your house manager to do, you want to simulate that and just see how did they show up? What questions did they ask? Did you give them all the information? Did they read the play? Did you gel with their behavior, their attitude, their vibe? Because you're going to have them in your home. If they didn't connect with you and your partner and your kids, then that's not somebody you want to move forward. You want to find somebody that you feel at ease with in your space, but also can take things off your plate and make you feel comfortable. Number 4 is all about task and management. You want to avoid underperformance, meaning that what is the process you're going to use to manage them? So for me, I'm a big fan of a weekly one-on-one. You know, some people make the mistake when they have somebody come and support them in their home to treat them like a friend and be very loosey-goosey with their expectations and, you know, always want to be polite and talk to them, etc. I mean, the way I look at it is they have work to do, they have outcomes to achieve, and I want to stay out of their way. I don't want to interrupt them and bug them. And when I do that, I use the one-on-one weekly meeting to get aligned, to get feedback on my direction. Am I being clear? To understand if they're bottlenecked, are they overwhelmed? What's missing in our relationship? And then some tips is to use software to manage the communication, the project management, and the account in detail. So to manage all the passwords and codes that might come in all of our real estate and our lives, we use 1Password, which is a great software for sharing that stuff. We use Google Docs to manage the systems and the playbooks that they're creating on an ongoing process to manage the people and the things and the timeline for stuff. And then we use Trello, because Trello is an easy project management software to just know what are you working on this week, what's next week, what's in the queue to eventually discuss and scope out and give you the resources to complete some other bigger projects to really support the family. You know, I want you to consider this quote by Jim Rohn, that time is more valuable than money because you can get more money, but you can't get more time. So if you've been on the fence of bringing in a house manager into your life, I hope this acts as a sign to get you to finally make the hire, bring them in, train them, manage them to buy back that time to take your life to another level. So if you found this video useful, be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what resonated the most with you. What did you take away? What did you need to hear most? And as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business. I'll see you next Monday.